there's a lot of cultures from Sirius B system who are part of the galactic version of worlds and also involved in the envoys program. The envoys program is what we call on Earth starseed.
Hi, I'm Paul speaking for Free Range with Gail of Gaia. Today, Gail and I welcome to the program author, influencer, experiencer, awakener, and alien contactee, Elena Danaan. You're going to love this lady, and you're going to love the program.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wonderful and wild ideas. And today I am so delighted to have with me Elena Danaan. She is an amazing woman, and she's been putting out some amazing videos. I would encourage you all to go to her YouTube video and watch some of her shows. You will learn a great deal. She calls herself an awakener. She came here to help guide humanity, reconnecting to their true nature and self and power and sovereignty. And it's a mission of her heart. And you can tell when you listen to her that that's exactly where it's coming from. She was born from a long ancient line of Baltic shamans, which I found absolutely fascinating. She also studied and worked in Egypt for a long time and learned a number of rituals and rites and so on in that area. She also followed the path of ancient Druids, which I found absolutely fascinating, with her Celtic background, which I also have. And anyway, I could just go on and on. She's also, and I think many of you have heard of contactees before, and she is a contactee. And so she has a lot of galactic information and can update us on her latest information from the man who has been in contact with her ever since she was 9 years old. So Elena, I'm going to turn it over to you, and maybe you can explain a little bit about your background and your contactee experience in spite of some of the negative aspects of it, but you were rescued. So that's a great thing. So go ahead, Elena, take it away.
Thank you, Gail, and thank you for having me, and thank you, Paul, as well, and Christine that we don't see. People know me because I told my story publicly. I dared doing it a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. Time has been like expanded in this period of time. It's absolutely very impressive. When I was a child, yes, 9 years old, I had been, like many people, many children, abducted by small grays, small gray aliens. They are from Zeta Reticuli, and they work with the Orion group. I was taken in a hybridization program. They started doing miseries with me that I describe in my book, my first book, but then I was rescued in the process. And that happens way more often than we think, but not enough that everybody remembers. These people who rescue abductees are crew members of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, which is an extraterrestrial structure, very important, that gathers hundreds of thousands of cultures, galactic cultures in this galaxy. And they have outposts in our star system for many reasons. And one of the tasks of their crews is to rescue people. So there are different programs to rescue people, and some crews are assigned to rescue people abducted on board ships, enemy ships. So that's what happened to me. 2 men beamed on board the gray ship and rescued me, took me on board their own ship. They teleported me with them there, and they took care of me. And since this time, I've been keeping in contact with them all my life. Three of them, especially one, the man who led the rescue operation. His name is Thorhan. He's quite famous ET now, VIP ET. But yes, that's my story. And then now I continue to give the information that I have.
Who are the other two crew members, if you don't mind?
Yes, there were four, in fact, but so Thoran, who rescued me, was the ship captain at the time. He's from the Pleiades, from Taygeta system. There was another man who was there from the same star system, a lady who was from the Sirius B star system, and another man. His name was Valnek, and he's became famous as well recently. He's from Epsilon Eridani system.
So wow, that's fascinating. You know, one of the things you mentioned, I've been told, I don't have the memory myself, but I've been told I'm from the Sirius B.
Yeah, Sirius B is there. There are 10 planets, 10 or 12 planets. I think it's 12. If maybe I'm wrong, but in these numbers, with all different cultures. So it's very crowded, very rich and diversified. There are also regressive cultures in the Sirius B system, but they seem to get on together all together. Yes, there's a lot of cultures from Sirius B system who are part of the galactic version of worlds, and also involved in the Envoys program. The Envoys program is what we call on Earth starseed.
Wow. Well, I was involved with a Andromedan contactee who helped remove a number of implants. I was told that I had almost 14 of them, and I have 2 left that they said they didn't consider were bad. So I'm going, wow, I wish I could remember, you know, I wish I had the memory of how that happened or where that came from and that sort of thing. But it is what it is. Maybe at some point that will, you know, open up. But anyway, moving right along, recently we had an outage of the Facebook, Instagram, and so on. And it's my understanding that the Galactic Federation of Worlds were at least in part involved with that in the sense that they stopped some of the mind control programs that were a part of that whole social media program. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the information I had. I thought myself it was just another bug, but then because that happens, but then something was different, and I got suddenly disconnection. And my contact Thorhan told me, no, it's not just a simple bug. It's part of our work of disconnecting all the structures that were connected to the Orion Greys, the Orion group, the Nebu, are being disconnected. So to explain that, it's like 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit less before. I mean, operations have started to catch all the Greys that are in the star system. So before they were running out, escaping through portals, and the portals have been locked now. The Federation has found the frequency key that can lock all the portals. So they did that. So all the enemies are trapped now. They can't go. So they are caught in different places. They are fleeing Earth because Earth, the battle in the undergrounds is going quite well. There's about 5% that needs to be liberated. So a group of Greys, they were officials, they were 9. They had left Dulce base, who is evacuated, and they wanted to flee through a portal. That's a very important portal, very known by people upstairs. It's a portal that is between Saturn and Jupiter. It's a big portal, and so they wanted to flee through this portal, and they've been caught there because they couldn't. So they've been brought on board the Federation ship, stunned, put in stasis, and very quickly, because so quickly that they couldn't contact their hive. So I'm going to explain to you, it's important, this hive. So these nine officers, Greys, were very important in the Greada Treaty. They were active in this event in 1955. They are all connected to a hive consciousness, all these Greys. So the aim of the Galactic Federation's operations was to crack the code, the frequency code, the quantum link. Yes, yes. So they could disconnect everything. So they disconnected everything that was connected, plugged onto this hive in Orion Nebula. The center is there. So it was like switch off, reset, switch on, back on. And now it's the servers who have been disconnected have been, they changed the frequency. They're not connected anymore to the Nebu hive queen. They call it a queen. Yeah.
Is that the Red Queen? Is that the same?
No, the Red Queen is a name for a quantum computer on Earth that was under Denver Airport.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Because I've heard that term before, and I've heard queen and hive mind before, but that's fascinating. What about CERN? They were trying to open up portals that these nasty beings could come through. Is that being blocked now too?
Yes. They managed to, but it's been blocked. All the portals have been blocked. Trying to find where all the portals were, it's like
needle in a haystack, right?
You can't. You can't. So the best was to find the frequencies of the portals and just lock them. That's what they did.
Wow. Well, we're dealing with some very astute help, I might say.
Yes.
That is so awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I really feel like we're moving in a new direction now. Just the idea that they've finally been able to cut some of the ties for mind control, because it's so hard for me to figure out why so many people are still so asleep. But they're waking up. They're waking up.
It's not their fault. Sometimes I want to really get angry at some people, like, wake up, why are you so stupid? But then I think I have no right to call this person stupid, because this person is a victim. No one is stupid. There's lack of education, ignorance, mind control, abuse, but there's not stupid. Humans are not stupid. We are just
we all
kept in ignorance or control,
We always have to maintain our empathy and compassion.
Yes.
And if someone's mind controlled, how can you blame them? You can't.
I know. That's it. That's it. Absolutely.
I guess what happens is some people wonder, well, how come I'm not affected in the same manner? But I do have an explanation for that.
Oh, yes. The frequency. A mind control is what is it? It's broadcasting of some frequencies of brain waves that will hack your brain and maintain you at this lower hertz frequency and just pass information to you. If you raise your frequency, you won't be affected, because you will be above this lower cloud, like information cloud, and you will be above, and you won't be affected by mind control. That's why I'm always encouraged by my friends upstairs to tell people to raise their frequency, because that's the key for a lot of things. You become immune to mind control when you raise your frequency.
So Elena, based on what you just said and how important that really is, maybe we should cover some ways that people can do this. How do people raise their frequency?
the question is, what maintains you in a lower frequency? Get rid of this. Okay. That's fear. Anything. Yeah. That's it.
Yes.
Anything that is based on fear and related to fear. This is mind control. This is lower frequency. So the first step is to refuse to take fear into your energy field and mind consciousness, your consciousness field. You need to refuse to take fear and to identify fear, to identify it. That's don't listen. I mean, switch off the TV. That's first step.
I haven't had one for decades.
That's first. Anything you're gonna, because they're clever, you know, the three-letter agency is behind a lot of things. They are very clever. They master in mind control, the Montauk and three letters agency. They are all behind this with the grays, of course, but you know, they are the earth thing. So everything that is fear-based, like even in the New Age communities, you have people saying, oh my God, there's going to be this catastrophe, this solar event or this cosmic event, and we're going to all die. But our fleet is going to come and save everyone. But you can't take your pets. Oh no, yes. And they're not saving everyone. They save only those who do their homework very well. You know, it's like, what? It's like a new religion, and all these things fear-based. It's throw it in the bin. Stop it. Calm down. You know, if it stresses you, if the message stresses you, or disempowers you, or gives your power away to an emotional dependence to that you will be hacked, like to watch a channel or a person constantly to have updates and you're stressed about it, that's another kind of mind control. No, the messages that you can take are the messages that will empower you, that will tell you you're stronger than this, you're above this, you get this, and you are, you know, hope and power and sovereignty, blah, blah, blah. And yes, that's a good message. Now, that was about messages, about what to take, what not to take. Raising our frequency is connecting to the being that lives into this avatar first, because our souls are of a higher frequency than these flesh suits. So by meditation, you can do all sorts of meditations to go within, connect with the light being that is within, and just feel it, see through the eyes of this being. Look at your hands, your body. What do you look like? The color, the shape, and spend time exploring yourself, this light being. This is important because as long as you do that, you tune into the frequency of this being, which is of a higher frequency. And when you do that, you've totally forgotten about the fear world, and you are connected to higher frequency. And then, you know, you can just connect with all the higher guides or beings that are part of your soul group. That's another story. But that's one way to raise your frequency. Another way is to find inner peace. Be gentle with yourself. Love all the parts of yourself, and not only the physical parts of the different layers of this being, but in the past as well. All the child or the teenager or the young adult who has been wounded. Go and meet this person and give him love and make peace with this person, heal this person, etc. And once you've retrieved all the parcels of your souls, you're one. And you're so powerful when you're one and you're in peace. Laugh, smile within and without, and be grounded and have this attitude to be, you know, like, Yoda, or like a super skilled monk, Asian monk, Tibetan or whatever, these people who are like whatever storm roams around me, I stay grounded and nothing can affect me. That is being in a higher frequency, and you're invincible. So that's my advice.
That's awesome. And that's a wonderful way of explaining it. Now, I've had people tell me that, that I can't meditate. I can't stop my mind.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for them?
When you are very, very much like hassled by the outside world, the information comes at you a lot, or that you have a lot of worries in your head, it's difficult to switch off. So what I advise for when you have surroundings that are noisy or stressful, put headphones and nice music. First, it will isolate you from the world outside, but it will take you on an imaginary journey, and it will also stop you to fall asleep. Some people do. That's one thing. And now for the inside, what I recommend when people have too much worries, too much stress, and they just can't switch off, like there's a big bill to pay and they don't have the money for it, and or they have just lost their job and they're frightened. How do you meditate? So what I advise, maybe there's better ways, but that's my way, is to imagine that all your worries, it's a coat or a hat, whatever. I like a coat because you put it over you. So that's your worries. We do not want to pretend we're ignoring them, because they are here, they are real, and it will be denial, and we wouldn't go very far in meditation. So we acknowledge we have these worries, and it's a coat. So you remove the coat the time of the meditation. You visually, you imagine that you put this coat just beside you. You can even imaginarily touch it, and you say, yes, and when I finish my meditation in 10 minutes, I know I will put it back to deal with my problems and try to sort them out after. But for the moment, temporarily, I take my coat of worries off. That's something that's reassuring, because you're not in denial. You're going to treat your problems. You're not going to be denial. So that's the way I suggest.
That's awesome. That may be very helpful for people. I appreciate that immensely. And I frequently listen to music or mantras or something like that when I was really upset about something, and that what frequently would help me a lot. And
doesn't the frequency of music matter too?
Yes, of course. Anything that is above, what is the frequency of fear? I think it's 400 something. I'm not sure. I need to look it up. But I know anything that is above 432 hertz is good. 432 hertz and above, it's good. Below, it won't help very much.
Well,
yeah.
In the 1930s and 40s, 39 to 40, whatever, the universal tuning scale was changed from 432, A432 to A440. 432 is centering, connecting. It connects you to earth and spirit, and you become a conduit of the energies of the world. At 440 is not evenly divisible by 3. It's only divisible by 2, and it creates stress and tension and duality. And it gets you stuck in between those. And I think what was probably the significant thing that happened for my awakening was, I still watch TV. I still watch primetime and stuff like that. But when I listened to music that was in 432 and not 440, because I recoded it. And just to give you an example, this is 432. It's a beautiful song.
Yes.
And this is under the terms of fair use, this is being played, this is being presented for demonstration and educational purposes.
Many nights we prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seemed like the summer birds too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here.
I find it awfully difficult to be tied up in duality and stress when listening to that.
Yeah,
That was beautiful, Paul. Thank you.
I love it. I love this song. It's so depicting our times and remember who we are and all the rest is fantastic. I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe we'll add that at the end too, as for people to hear at the very end. But anyway, one of the other things that I wanted to bring up, Elena, was your experience with Val Thor.
Mhm.
He's a very fascinating character, and he's pretty well known, really, by many people. I loved it that he told you, "We will never let you down." Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was a time when I was feeling like, why aren't we getting any help? And we were, but we just couldn't see it.
I always had difficulty to explain, even by words in my book, how I felt in this moment. I don't know how to explain it. It was so powerful. It was multi-level in my soul. This message, these words, "we will never let you down," there was a power and energy behind. There were promises and proofs that they always were there. And he said something afterwards. He said, "We never had and we never will." And I was, of course, but my whole soul was totally upside down. It's an indescribable feeling of intense emotion. I was crying. I was a wreck. I was in tears. It was so intense. My being was barely able to contain this sensation.
I can relate. I can relate. Just talking about it almost makes me misty-eyed, because we relish, need, and are ever so grateful for that help.
Yes.
Those of us that are aware, those that aren't aware will be when they become aware. I guarantee it.
Yes.
So, wow. What? I guess I was going to ask you maybe to cover a little bit about the Jupiter agreements and what that was all about. I know you have already, but for our listening audience, you can just kind of sum
yes,
up.
Basically in July 2021, last July, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, the Andromedan Council, and the Council of Five helped humanity to organize themselves for the after victory, because they needed to do that, because this is a war where regressive aliens are involved. So, we need to know how to organize ourselves to be strong and well prepared afterwards, and create safety zones, prepare our fleets, build facilities, space stations, and everything. And also, it was going deeper than this, because space is a business as well. So
That's
for
scary.
many, space is also a business. So mainly, so to avoid like Viking scavenging movement after all the planets are liberated from everyone, didn't want the chaos to, like vultures going after the empty places. That needed to be organized, and it was quite a challenge. So they helped us doing that. So on Jupiter, there's a big facility that was built by the Ashtar Command, which is a mercenary military force company, like from Sirius B system. The Galactic Federation hired them, and they have an outpost on Jupiter, and it's in the upper layers of the atmosphere of Jupiter, and it is really gigantic facility. And because the level of security there is like incredible, it's the best place to have diplomatic meetings safely. So the Galactic Federation has a facility there where they can conduct their meetings. So that's where it took place. So it was, the aim of it was to decide of the organization of a new space force, horizontal cooperation, as Thorhan told me, and to decide who will lead, which country of Earth will be in charge of organizing the other ones. And that was the challenge. And because the biggest challenge is that we get on with each other. That's the condition to move forward. That was big. So, the Galactic Federation was there, like, parents or, a relative pointing the finger and saying, I watch you. If you go straight, not good. We take all your assets, or we take your
You're going to get spanked.
yeah, I don't want to do it too. Yeah. So that was they put in place a space force of 6 countries finally, and with the CEOs of each country's chosen companies to build the materials and everything, the ships and everything. You need companies, you need industries to build all this. True. So you don't want the interplanetary corporate conglomerate or those who are working with the Dark Fleet and the Cabal to do this. Not this one. So
exactly.
Who else? So
how did they rectify that or reconcile that?
Not all companies were involved. So they took the companies who were less involved and also who were ready, operational. That was important because we can't afford to wait 20 years that a company starts to be created. Who's there, who's ready, who has the power to build starships and space stations? Well, we'll take these ones, and the ones who are less involved with the Cabal and who are not part of the ICC. That was a condition. The ICC is like this dismantled. It's the past now. So of course, a lot of these companies, these industries, had a foot in the and so it was shocking when we learned that some names were chosen to accompany the military officials of the the US notably, people were like shocked, and but nobody had all the elements, and we had them afterwards, that these people were ready. And also, how I have been explained, they are business people. They will go with the winner, and with the ones who will give them the most profit, and that's the Galactic Federation. So then it's they don't trust them, but they keep an eye on them, and they're bound by agreements now. If they don't respect these agreements, all their assets are taken. There's a policy in the Galactic Federation, which is to give a second chance, that follows a rule of evolution. You made a mistake. Do you wish to learn from it? To try to learn from it, or do you don't want to learn from it and stay doing what you do? That's option, all these things.
If I may,
Wow.
there's one thing that people are so upset that nothing's happening, that they're not seeing anything, and
I know.
what none of them thought, and I'm going to enlighten them right now based on what you just said. Okay. Just because you didn't see anything happening doesn't mean there wasn't anything happening. And second of all, the bad guys, the cabal and the evil ones, whatever, as bad as they were, they did have a presence in space. They were protecting the planet because they were protecting their slave colony. When they were taken out, they couldn't be taken out unless Space Force and the other components to keep us safe from the galactic pirates were in place. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Exactly. Very well said.
Exactly. Thank you again, Paul.
You're welcome.
Very,
Thank you.
very, very good. We are, and eventually we will know a lot more.
Oh, yes. When I pass on intel to Dr. Sala, he believes me. Well, he believes me, of course. He decides to believe me, and then he waits to make this intel public, that he got some correspondence and some proof, and he does some research. And there's always something that's going to happen that is going to, validate the intel I give, which is quite incredible. So, for instance, after the Jupiter agreements, where all these agreements were made between Space Force and industries to build new Space Force fleets and etc. Like 4 days or a week after, something like this, I think it was a week after, the general, the commander of the Space Command that commands the Space Force, that's the high command, like Gerald Dickinson, made a public announcement that Space Command had just made agreement with about 100 new industries. What? Yay! Okay, you have it.
We are moving right along. Yes.
Things like this, and that was an example.
That is great. That is absolutely wonderful. I have a question about other galactic races and so on. Do they have a monetary system like they have here on Earth?
Not all. Some have, not all. The more you evolve, the less you need a monetary system.
Thank you.
Some species choose to keep it, but you can really get rid of it quickly.
I'm hoping that happens, because it seems to be like an ideal way to exploit people.
Oh yeah, of course, it's a power. Power over. Yeah.
So I wonder how that's going to play out here on Earth. That should be interesting. But because most people can't even imagine how that could possibly exist, and yet it can.
It's a means of controlling people. It's a means of exploiting people, and it's also a means of sticking slaves in a dead end job where they punch in, they do their thing, they punch out, and when they go home, they are too tired to even consider anything.
Yeah.
So it is actually interfering with their development as a being. Because they're just
Thank you
so
for bringing
busy
that
doing
up.
the 9 to 5.
Yes,
We
that
would
is
deal
why. Exactly, Paul. So thank you for bringing that up, because I believe that's exactly why we don't have as many people awake as we would like to, because by the time they get home, after doing whatever they happen to do, especially certain jobs are worse than others, between the stress and the physical demands, they just don't feel it. They just want to have something to eat, turn on the boob tube, and go to sleep and start the whole thing all over. I call it the hamster wheel of life. And that's what the slavery system that humans have been subjected to for generations. And it breaks my heart at times.
I don't know how we will get there, but I know we will. I've seen, I spent some times in the Galactic Federation ships. And I've also been shown the future. And the future looks like what I've seen on the ships already.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
What I've seen is a same structure of society, which there's no money, of course, as we were saying, but there's a sort of currency. So I don't know what it is, but it's something that is abstract. I know Thorhan, when he became an officer, he was earning like energy. It was like energy.
Wow,
and he can
interesting.
tap into to exchange to get something. So that's interesting, because in the Galactic Federation, when you're a member, everything is free, because everyone puts in common their technology, their goods, everything. So it's like everybody shares. They are organized. There's a way or exchange like this, but there's no money. It's available for free. When some cultures who are still on a monetary base structure come to do commerce with the Federation, they're allowed to come in the ships. And I've seen like a shop once, and that was a race of tall beings. They were and Thorhan bought something, and he paid for it with his energy thing, like reserve.
Fascinating. Yeah. Wow.
To buy an object. And but this person wasn't part of the Federation. This person was coming to do profit and commerce. So I don't know. So he presented a holographic device that he had on him, and that was scanned, and the value was taken in, I don't know what it was. It wasn't money.
Wow, that's fascinating.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Absolutely fascinating. And that is something that has always been difficult for me to comprehend about the way money has exploited people. So it's not, I know there's a better way. I just don't know what it is. And maybe it's from my roots. I don't know, but I've always had issues with money. And I know it's a energy, but people, I don't know, I have.
It's kind of like a socialist society without the elite, without the greedy hierarchy. You know, without the greedy hierarchy that's way up here. So they have everything and you have nothing. And everybody is equal because nobody has anything. You know, it's kind of like a difference between Star Trek and the Galactic Federation of Planets in this series, and the Ferengi. Okay, the Ferengi has the laws of acquisition. Okay.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. Do we want to be the Ferengi where there are the laws of acquisition, or do we want to be like the Galactic Federation of Planets where everybody is equal because everything is free and everyone's needs are met and they are able to work on themselves and advance themselves as a being? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give me more of that.
Yes.
You know, and one day I asked Thoran, I said, when he was explaining this to me, I said, if everything is free, you're going to want to have a lot of something that you like, and you're going to you can take everything you want. He said, yes. He said, but we have a respect. You could, but we have a respect for the community, and we take accordingly to what we need. I said, but everyone, I said, I mean, I would want something that I like, I don't know, a cake or something. I would buy like a ton of it and I eat it. He said, yes, he said, maybe you will do that first time once, but then you will be sick. And the next time you will just take what you need. And that's it. And people are like this, they take what they need.
Free Range with Gail of Gaia is honored to be affiliated with MyNutra, makers of hemp paste. Hemp paste is a whole food product that still contains most, if not all, of the terpenes, phytonutrients, essential elements, and CBDs of the raw hemp plant. CBD oil manufacturing methods strip away living essential elements, leaving only one, a dead CBD oil. CBD oil alone simply cannot support the entourage effect that occurs when hemp pastes essential nutrients go to work to support your optimum health. Almost 200 terpenes and over 500 other phytonutrients work together with a synergistic effect that simply doesn't happen with CBD oil alone. Visit hemppaste.gailofgaia.com. That's hemppaste.gailofgaia.com to learn more. And be sure to check out the impressive array of hemp-enriched products while you're there. That website again, hemppaste.gailofgaia.com. That's hemppaste.gailofgaia.com. If you've been looking for a good time to try hemp paste, there's never been a more perfect time than right now. Go to hemppaste.gailofgaia.com to buy hemp paste mint and original flavor. Buy one, get one free. Mix and match. From October 5th to October 11th, it's buy one, get one free. Only at hemppaste.gailofgaia.com. That's hemppaste.gailofgaia.com. Free Range is pleased to present Medexus and the superfruit Lonicera cerulean. The cornerstone of Medexus products, Lonicera cerulean, is a superfood that supports life at the cellular level. Whether you're looking for a longevity product with added glutathione and ATP, something to help lift you through the day without having to resort to stimulants like caffeine or acidic energy drinks, or just seeking a natural solution to support stress management, Medexus also has a natural approach to pain management. Its Relieve product is unique in its ability to support the body's own pain management system. It's been said you'll notice a difference the very first day. The second day, you'll be loving the products, and the third day, we'll be telling friends about Medexus. Visit medexus.gailofgaia.com to learn more and to see what other people are saying about these quality products. That's medexus.gailofgaia.com. Free Range with Gail of Gaia and Free Range Productions is proud to partner with C60evo.com, makers of ESS60 products. C60, the carbon-60 molecule, delivers more than 172 times the power of vitamin C as an antioxidant. ESS60 is simply the purest form of C60, a known antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory remedy that not only works, it is the only C60 molecule that is approved for both internal and external use. ESS60 neutralizes free radicals from cell metabolization and external toxins to help minimize inflammation and maximize detoxification. People report better sleep, more energy and flexibility, and renewed mental clarity when they take ESS60 products. For more information, visit ess60.gailofgaia.com. That is ess60.gailofgaia.com. Even too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And see, if you're coming from a place of lack, okay, if you're coming from a place of lack, and the only time you can get brownies is when they're on sale, buy 2, get 3 free, okay, you're going to fill your refrigerator with brownies. I know, I've done it. I know I have done it. I have had 5 pans of brownies in my refrigerator at one time. And the reason I did that is because I could not have brownies anytime I wanted them. But if I had a replicator in the kitchen and I could make a brownie, a single brownie, that would cover me. I wouldn't have to bake a whole pan of them because I could get one brownie when I felt like having a brownie. Because when you make a pan of brownies, they're saying, eat me. That's what they say. They call to you in the middle of the night.
I know.
They do.
I know. I know they have a little voice.
I don't see it as a problem. I'm sorry. I don't.
See, so in other words, probably what might happen is initially it might seem like people are taking more than what they need, but that's going to fade away rather quickly.
Yes, it fades away very quickly. Very quickly. And I believe that.
Another thing that a lot of people have said, and I don't believe it myself, but I'd be interested in your take on it. And that is that, well, if everybody got a bunch of money, nobody would work anymore. I said, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. There might be a need for a little time off from, the 9 to 5 routine that people have been accustomed to and so on. But people, of course, if you had replicators and technology that was able to replace certain things, that would be a big help, obviously. But also, people haven't had the opportunity, many people anyway, to do the things that they're most talented at, where their creativity and talent really shows, because they had to earn a living. So I don't think it's fair to say that people wouldn't work anymore. They might work differently. What do you think about that, Elena?
What I think is you need to change your angle of vision and seeing it from above, from the perspective above. The societies I have seen, there's no currency. There's no no need to work to earn a currency. Okay, you have reward if you do a job. It's great, but it's not a currency. Then all the work like cleaning, building, cooking, it's done by machines. So all the work that's not fun is done by machines.
Good, yay!
Sorry. No, what you want to say? Something, Paul?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to jump in here. What you would have is a workforce, but you would have a workforce of people that are doing what they enjoy doing. And what they say is, if you enjoy your job, you never work a day in your life. And that is what people would be able to do. There are people that would love building houses. There's people that would love working on their tan, building roads. There's people that would want to dig into a book and learn everything they possibly can about astrophysics, because that's their thing.
That's it. That was the point I wanted to go. And then you don't need to work. But then, are you going to be bored? Everything is free. You don't need to work. That's not working for you, because if you start to be bored, you're going to be depressed, and you all have something that you like to do, a calling, for a passion or a talent, and you're going to do it for pleasure, and that the society is going to benefit of it. You're not obliged. The law of free will is then taking all its power, all its, space. So
for once, Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, in the army and the military forces of the Federation, I asked, Ardana, she's a high commander in a military station of the Federation. She explained to me once, I don't remember what was my question, that oh yes, because Thorhan was really she was his superior, and he was acting very friendly with her. I went, oh my God, on Earth you wouldn't do that to your general, I mean, you would be like, yes,
that's another
sir.
area we need to go to. Yeah,
and
yeah.
No, they were friendly, and I went, and she's like 5 grades above him. I don't get it. And she said that in the army there is no obligation. You join the army if you have the call inside of you to want to help and do something, and it's your skill, and you like to fight, or to have a skill like a pilot or technician or mechanics or whatever, and you just feel you want to do it to help a good cause. And she said, when I give orders, my soldiers, they're not obliged to, if they don't want to obey to me, they can go. But the thing is, that happens so very rarely, because everyone that's in there, because they want to be there, they want to work, they want to do something, and they're not terrorized, they're not shout after, they're not, it's like, it's friendly.
When they love their commander, they're more than willing and happy to follow whatever they're asked to do. Is that correct? Is that what you're getting at?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So
that's awesome. I long for the day that it's like that on Earth. I really do.
I think it will. But they're here to guide us how to become like this. So,
well, based on the fact that you said the high commander was a woman, maybe we can. I can't help myself. Sorry, Paul. I can't help myself. I have to go there. On Earth, women have been very subjugated, very disrespected in many ways, and very rarely allowed to be able to use their gifts and their abilities. I'm going to venture to guess it's not that way in other most galactic places that are highly evolved. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, of course, when you reach a certain opening of consciousness, there's equality of beings that, that is obvious, and there is respect and love, and for between all of them. That's when you reach a certain level of evolution in the development of your consciousness, of course. Yeah,
that will be nice. that will be a good thing.
So that the fact that it's a woman that commands their army, they don't care. It's a man's a woman. Who cares? It's a person.
Mm-hmm.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Women are more suitable in command situations, particularly in situations where there's a battle to be won, because women have the ability to separate panic from logical thinking. They may fall apart after the battle, but they will call on every resource during the battle. And if I'm on a ship and there is somebody out there in space that wants to blow me and all of my shipmates up, I'd want a woman sitting in the captain's chair, because I know that she's not going to be thinking reactively. She's not going to be thinking emotionally. She's going to be thinking logically and with her whole brain to keep everybody alive, because she also has the nurturing instinct and is responsible for everybody on the ship, just like a parent, just like a mother. And you don't mess with a mother. So there's
Right.
my point.
Mama
There's
bear
my
protecting
point.
her cubs. Yes,
Okay,
This
and you
is
thought I was going to
fascinating.
pick on you, didn't you?
I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, that's very interesting, because I experienced that a couple of times in my life, many times actually, where I was in a situation of real drama, like I could die or people around me could die. I surprised myself that there was an instinct within me that suddenly switched me off in another way of thinking, like cold, no more emotion, cold thinking and super fast, thinking super fast and like scanning the situation in like quantum fraction of second, like vroom, situation analyzed, and this needs to be made, and like in 3 seconds I know what to do coldly, and it's the best way. And then after that I go, what the hell happened to me?
Oh my God.
How did I do that? That's right.
Yes, it
I
is,
agree.
Paul. That's excellent. That's excellent. You are absolutely right. I can relate to exactly what you're saying too, Elena. In certain circumstances, it's like all of a sudden you pull it all together really quickly, and then
Yeah.
after it's all over, is
And
when
there's
you
no
might
emotion.
go, oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. No. I after you just fall and cry, but on the moment there's no emotion. Emotion
Yes.
is switched off. That's
Yes.
very impressive.
Excellent.
First officer, you have the con. I'll be in my ready room for a few minutes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Moving on from that wonderful thought, what about health and healing in the future as you see it, as it occurs in a more evolved society? Do you see that coming to Earth in any time soon?
Oh yes, sure. Oh yes, sure. The less there is healing to be made. First is the first point. We will not, we are poisoned in many ways by processed food, the water with the fluoride,
air,
plenty air, everything. It makes us so sick, and radiations, of course. So we're all the time sick, and our DNA is has been altered as well. So it's like we are sick often, people of Earth. Mm-hmm. When we stop being polluted and poisoned for control, when that's over, we are going to, after a generation of 2 or 2, become more resistant and healthier and fall less and less sick. And the immune system is going to be really boosted even more. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. And then some diseases can be genetically prevented. They have, I know our human space cousins, they're all like super beautiful, strong body.
I've seen pictures. I'm going, oh my God.
Like, and I Thorhan once, I said, you're some workout. Why? I haven't seen a fat person on that ship.
There you go. GMO foods, I'm telling you.
And he says, he says it's genetic. Toxins. We've modified our genetics to be the strongest and the healthiest as possible, to live the longest and in better conditions. So, and he said it's also what we eat. So that's what they eat as well. So that's the food, the alimentation, and genetic improvement that they do to themselves.
No happy meals. No happy meals.
No McDonald's. No, thank you very much. Amongst many other things.
Yeah, they're pretty much all vegan. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know if we should go there or not, because people get very defensive about that. I've had a history of being a nutritionist, and oh my God, sometimes you just mention that and people go ballistic. Partly, I think over the many generations, there has been some genetic adaptation that may have, created some of that desire, need, or what have you. But it's definitely, I'm happy that you're saying that, because sentient life deserves to be able to live its life. And
there's a fact also that you are what you eat, but
yes,
that's really to be taken really seriously, because whatever frequency you put in your energy field by ingesting it, you start to vibrating to this frequency. Your general frequency has tendency to lower down to that. So if you eat an animal that has suffered, or even the frequency of blood, that's gonna, you have blood, so it's already a low frequency, lower frequency than your own light being. But if you add more blood into your body, heavier, and when you eat an animal that was killed with suffering, you eat this suffering, and it's not cool.
Thank you for explaining it that way. I wish I would have known that years ago, because it would have been helpful. But anyway,
I think I vibrate at the frequency of peanut butter. I'm just saying.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes. Paul's my comic relief when we get too serious.
So funny. And cookies.
Yeah, comfort
foods.
Comfort foods. Yes. Okay, what oh, I know. There was something I wanted to ask you, because I've heard this many times. I don't know if it's true. I heard, and of course it would be dismantled at this point in time, that there was a frequency that used to be sent from Saturn to the moon to the earth. And it was a low frequency. It was not in our, to our benefit in any manner, shape, or form. And that has since been taken away.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes. Thorhan is not telling me what's happening on Saturn at the moment, but I know there are operations going on Saturn, because it doesn't give me the intel as it goes, because for the safety and my safety, and
sense.
Knowing that I won't be attacked or bothered to try to hack my brain to know what's happening, right. I'm not getting real-time intel. It's always like just after it happened,
when it's safe.
Yes, when it's
basically
safe. So I know nonetheless that there are operations going on Saturn. Saturn is not broadcasting this frequency anyway since February 2021, when the moon was taken back by the Federation. The machine that was there, that was relaying this frequency to Earth, has been taken apart, dismantled.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's true then. Okay.
I saw a video of the moon where there was this phenomenon that started happening in the moon, and that like the higher power telescopes were seeing it, where there were flashes of light on the moon. And they were saying, oh, okay, these are gaseous clouds that because the moon is cracking, the surface is cracking, and methane gas is escaping from the moon, and it's reflecting sunlight, and that's why you've got this bright spot.
Yeah, it's water balloon, yeah, weather balloon.
No,
yeah.
I think my inner knowledge is leaning towards there's fighting going on up on the moon. And that's why you were seeing these flashes of light.
Yeah, there was explosions.
Right. So, okay.
Now, it's my understanding at this point in time, and this may even been information from you, Elena, that on the moon at this point in time, now that it's been taken over by the good guys, they are actually in the process of making things that some people refer to as med beds or celestial chambers or healing.
Yes. There are facilities that are being built. Well, they are taking the ancient facilities that were belonging to the Dark Fleet and the Orion group, the Greys, and these facilities, they are there, so they're going to use it. They are using it. Not especially the Federation. The Federation helps the Solar Warden and the Space Force to just get there. You know, they've freed the moon from the bodies, and now they've given back the moon to us, and they are making sure that everything's going well there, that the people of the military of Earth just move in. That's what's happening. And yes, they are having a lot of technology there, and building a lot more. Regarding to the med beds, they are used on the moon. They are used, I think it was the ancient moon lunar operation command or something like that, there, that place. They are used first to heal all the victims, the slaves, that have been liberated from Mars. There are millions of people on Mars.
So Mars is liberated too, right?
Yes. It's been a bit of a chaos on there because of the resistance, but Mars has been liberated. It's fine now. It's fine. All is good. And Ceres as well, in the asteroid belt, given back to its residents.
Excellent. What about our people who have been taken and made into super soldiers and are made to do things against their will? Is that changing? Has that been corrected?
Oh yes, that's not going to happen anymore now, because the Dark Fleet was in charge of that mainly, and you know, and all the web on Earth with the Three Letters Agency and some dark side of some military, and
that's all militaries, correct?
Yeah. But all that is dismantled now, and it won't happen. It won't happen again.
Because I just, my heart went out to some of the people after hearing some of the stories about the horrific traumas they were put through in order to hone their abilities or whatever. It's very very disturbing, and I feel sorry for them, and then being made to do things against their will.
Yes, I've heard terrible stories, and you know, that's a bit, that's very messy about the SSP, you know, the 20 and back, because there are different types of people. You have people like Tony Rodriguez, who escaped. He was lucky, but in fact, I think that it's a destiny, it's a life contract in a way, that he was meant to tell the truth. When he tells his story, he was told at the moment he was about to be brought on Earth that there was somebody tell, oh, you will remember, and there was some mistake in his file, and it happened like this, and he was never under hypnosis. Anyway, some people really remember and tell the truth. Is not the only one, of course, but some others are are brought back and used. You're not supposed to remember that first. That's the thing. You're not supposed to remember. That's it. Many of them, if they start to remember, and suddenly all at the same time, they start to speak and give the same doom and gloom intel that is like, we're gonna die, or, you know, no victory, it's gonna be horrible. Well, that they have been instrumentalized to brought back to at the right moment being used, you know. So there are these ones too, but it's very different sort of people. But in general, all of them, whatever however they come back, either that they are genuine or either they are used, they are victims. And we really must have compassion, even for those who say doom and gloom stuff, because it's especially for these ones, because they have suffered like you cannot imagine.
Mind control
stories and mind control. I've heard stories. I mean, I'm there's a woman I have deep, profound respect for, is Nyara Terela Ailey. She went through hell, but although she went through hell, she comes back with a message for humanity of hope and sovereignty and rising of frequency and take back your power. And she's such an example of having known the whole darkness, and then suddenly you just bring light and guide others in the light. Oh my God, I admire this woman so much.
That's wonderful. That, when you've experienced that kind of darkness, you probably can really appreciate the light so much more. If there's
Yes.
not, what about, do you see an end coming to the weather warfare and the chemtrails and so on that are
Yes, of
still
course.
continue to be happening on the planet, it appears?
Yes, it will. It takes time, but it will. I've been shown the future in a looking glass. 200 years from now, there are floating cities. Anti-gravity is used a lot to let the earth heal, the nature heal.
Oh, wow. Yes,
Yes.
that's beautiful.
And there's a lot of colonies of humans out of space as well. The earth is less populated as well.
So humans will be off the world for a while this transition? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No need.
So we'll still be here. We're not going anywhere then, basically, is what you're saying, right? But
there will always be humans living on Earth, but then we will have colonies, and very quickly in the next centuries there will be colonies. For instance, on Mars, there has been colonies already on Mars for the wrong reasons, but already the infrastructures are all ready already. And we have interstellar travel. We can go and live on Alpha Centauri or other places, no problem. So in 100 years time, well, even less, we will see changes.
We'll be able to go to wherever we want to go.
Yeah,
basically. That's exciting. I mean, that's very exciting. I've never traveled as much as I'd like to, so I'm looking very much forward to that.
That's how they were able to get Space Force set up and figure out who was going to run Space Force. Who was it? Elon Musk. He was going to launch himself into orbit and then land again. Well, he was gone for a weekend, but he didn't go to Earth orbit. No, he went to Saturn.
Jupiter.
Oh, he went to Jupiter. Okay.
Yeah.
He went to Jupiter. So all these guys, they were supposed to be gone for like a long weekend. They were actually off planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Well, we have a problem with this type of thing with a large portion of humanity, and that is they have been taught for a long time, frequently through the religions, that there are no other species out there. We are the only ones. And this is very, very difficult.
Well, I don't blame them. They're victims as well. Just they need to know that for them, for these people, things are going to get really weird.
Yes, very weird. But it's like try to encourage people to have an open mind and to just take things in. And
that's the horrible power of the religion, especially the Vatican. That's evil.
Yes. Yes. I wondered about if we should go there or not, but
no, let's stay in high vibes.
Let's stay in high vibe, yeah, because I know that will be very upsetting to a lot of people, and I don't want to do that.
Great subject.
Another word that keeps being used here lately, and it's being kind of trashed in a way, and I think hope is really important, and some people have tried to denigrate that word and say, well, it's just hope.
Of course, that's the dark ones.
Yeah.
The aim is to take hope away from humanity. When you do not have hope anymore, you do not fight anymore, and you just go depressed and resilient and comply and obey.
Yes.
Hope is the resistance. Hope is how you win a war.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that, because I saw that. I used to work in hospitals and back when in my career, and you would have a doctor that would come in and say, well, you're going to die in 6 months. I used to get so upset with that because it took away people's hope. You have to have hope, because if you don't have any hope and they trash all your hope, then people just go, well, what's the use?
I know.
What you can conceive and believe, you will achieve, good or bad.
Very good. Yeah, totally.
That's kind of why I picked the song When You Believe.
Yes, it's, I mean, an army in a war that has no hope will lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's period.
Yes. So it's always important to maintain that hope, regardless of what anyone tries to say or tries to
Yes, that's the work
take
of
away
the
from you.
dark ones. Yes, absolutely.
Keep your vibrations high, and if I can add one thing to the 432 discussion, is there's a lot of stuff that is reported to be good for you on YouTube. Okay, YouTube is literally littered with very, very dark, very, very subversive, very, very bad content.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for 432 music, or if you are looking for something to raise your consciousness and raise your vibration, pay attention to your higher self. Pay attention to your inner knowledge, because if you are listening to something on YouTube, if it doesn't feel right, turn it off. Turn it off. If it works for you, if it feeds your soul, if you can feel yourself expanding, stay in it. Get knee deep in it. But remember that YouTube, the TV, the media, the print media, the news media, it was all put there to twist you into knots. Yes. So just because it has this touchy-feely title, pay no attention.
Yeah.
It's how you feel.
What feels right or wrong to you? People ask me a lot about, is this YouTube channel good or bad? This channel good or bad? I do not say names, and I think, how does it feel to your heart? First, you ask me the question. That means you have the answer already, because if you ask me the question, that means you doubt this thing is good. So you have the answer already. You wouldn't ask me if you thought it would feel right for you. So that's what I respond, and people go, "Oh yeah." When when you have ask the question like, is that genuine? Or I'd like to know. The answer, it's not.
Or you wouldn't be asking the question in the first place, right?
That's it. You follow your heart. What you feel. What did you feel in the first place? That's it.
That is so wise. That is so wise.
I think some really important takeaways for us too to leave people with is that love for all is extremely important. Hope is extremely important. And courage is contagious. Be brave. Stand up for what's right, what you know in your heart is right.
Yeah, even if it scares you, because bravery is nothing more than being afraid and doing it anyway.
Yes. And you have the hope to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's so important.
Hope is important.
Yeah, they used to call the United States the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh. And in recent years, it looks like we're not free anymore. And where's all the brave people? And I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but I think people have to reach down and pull up their bootstraps and go, hey, I'm better than that. I know. it's in my blood, so to speak. I am brave. I am courageous. I am that I am.
I am. Yeah. You know, freedom, the real freedom is feeling free in your body, in your surrounding, free to go out, free to speak, free. The real freedom is the little freedom, the little freedoms. You know,
That's true.
and
True.
that's feeling free. It's feeling free in everything you do and everything you are. You are, I mean, you know, you want to dress up in like pink with yellow stripes and feathers on your head. You go outside, that you feel free, and etc. You know, at the moment you are being convinced that you need to destroy these little freedoms in the name of a bigger freedom, a social freedom, the freedom of the country or the state, but to reach, to allow the freedom of the state, you need to renounce to your little freedoms. That's wrong. That's wrong.
I find it extremely disturbing to think that, well, let's see, okay, I want to talk about this on this video. How am I going to say it without getting censored? You know, those kinds of things. It's very frustrating because it's not supposed to be that way. And
it's a fish in the water. That's how I feel. I play with censorship on my channel. I play, I never say the words, but I do exactly how you did. I announce that I'm going to talk about something I shouldn't. And then people then switch into, okay, she's going to talk about these words. Okay. So they understand, then they understand the metaphors, and it's like the fish in the waters. You follow the currents. I mean, the deep state has put stones in the river. Well, the water always flows, and you make your way around. The important is to go and to keep on going, you know, and you ignore the stones.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, I think before we go too much farther, so much, and you have so many books out there, Elena, that are wonderful information for people to read and become more knowledgeable about the kinds of things that we all need to know. And I really love and appreciate you for what you've done in that regard, because there's you're unique in that regard. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your different books?
I've always loved to write. I've written some in French, because you guess I'm French, fantasy saga in French that were published. So I always like to write. Then when my books are here. When I start to want to publish my abduction stories, it was in English, because I lived in an English country, and I wanted it to be accessible to the world. So I wrote in English. No, it's not a perfect English, but it does the job. It's A Gift from the Stars, Guide of Alien Races. So it's the story of my abductions. I'm an artist as well, and so you have my stories of contact with extraterrestrials and abduction stories. That's my drawings or my memories. And you have then also repertoire of alien races with all the alien races, for instance.
Could you show us some of the pictures of the more prominent races that were, you know, like maybe the Andromedans, the Pleiadians, the Sirius? Of course, Pleiadians look like humans, but you know what I mean.
So that's the Andromedans. That's the Andromedans. The Zeni. There's many races in the Andromeda star system, constellation. That's a Zene or Zenate. It's the same, depends on their grammar, the way they put the word in a sentence. I don't speak their language. There's Mitra. They come from Andromeda galaxy. It's the worst enemy. One of the worst enemy we have. They are very nasty. They used to
nasty.
they hate us. I think they hate everything. Anyway. They used to work in Area 51. Oh, that's the Ohorai. The Ohorai, they live in the Bootes constellation around the star Arcturus.
Oh, okay.
They have
Yeah,
blue,
the
they have blue
Arcturians.
skin. Yes, they have blue skin. There's a lot of races in the Arcturus system. That's the Ohorai. Who else? Oh, you have one big enemy is the Sikaar, the reptilians from Alpha Draconis. That's the Sikaar Lord. They have wings.
Wow. So you've seen them. Have you seen them?
Not personally, these ones.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, really. I know. I was going to say, she survived it. Okay.
I've seen a Naga, a shapeshifter once. It wasn't fun though. I know Thorhan showed me a lot of races that I haven't met by telepathy, by visualization. So I was taking,
awesome.
I was concentrated. It was lasting like 5 minutes, like staring at it and then open my eyes and drawing it like this. We've done like this.
Fantastic.
Who
you're
else?
multi-talented.
I know. Yes. Oh, that's the Laan, from Lyran star system, Man. K62,
okay.
Kepler 62. That's one of the races that are interesting. Yes, you were asking Pleiadians. There are different. There are 6 races in the Pleiades that mainly Taurus. Where are they? Here are they. So you have the Tal. They look like us Caucasian people. They are in around the star system Taygeta and Alcyone. Those from Alcyone are very nasty people. They are allied with the Orion group and the reptilians. That's the Alcyone. Anything from Alcyone is stay away. It works with the Dark Fleet and the Cabal. They're very involved with the Dark Fleet. The Alcyone.
That's
people.
fascinating because I heard just the opposite. Isn't that interesting?
No. They are involved with the. There's a lot of. There's few people in. Whistleblowers in the army who have confirmed that. Yes, the Tal Shiar they are working with the Dark Fleet and the Cabal. Yes, very nasty. That's the anything from Alcyone. If you hear Alcyone Council, that's not good.
Thank you for that.
Stay away. Don't try to engage communication. That's the Ahil. Thorhan belongs to this race. That's a tall blonde from Taygeta system, planet Era. You have, plenty of other races. I show you the main ones, 110. So, and also in this book, there is a map of the stars.
Do you have Syrians?
Many races in the star system of Sirius, yes.
Have you ever heard of the Oceania?
No.
No? Okay. I don't know if that was, I read that in a book. I don't know the Suri's agenda. I don't know if that was.
I don't know everything.
Yeah, I know.
I often tell people when you ask me and I don't know, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's just, I don't know.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's not because I say I don't know that, it probably is something.
Well, you're a wealth of information. So.
And it's very, very refreshing when somebody is asked something that they don't know. They say, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
because
very refreshing.
I'm very suspicious of people who claim to know everything. I'm suspicious.
Yes,
people who have answer for everything, I would.
You were going to show us a picture of the star system, and why don't you go ahead and do that? Because I kind of interrupted you.
No, at the age of 16, I was given a star map that I put a photo of it with all the star systems and where they are, all these races. And then I asked Thorhan to have me update it because I wanted to computerize it and vectorize it. So the star map is in the book. You have all the places where all these people live, so that's offered to the world. And then after I wrote this book, I kept on having adventures, so I wrote a second one. Both are bestsellers. This one was bestseller after 4 days on Amazon.
Yes. That's your most recent one, isn't it?
Most recent. We Will Never Let You Down. It's encounters with Valiant Thor and journeys beyond Earth. So my encounters with this person and all the adventures I had in the star system. that's drawings always. Yeah, so that's the second one. So yeah.
Is Valiant Thor, is he from Venus? Is that where his?
Yes. Or is it Tal or Lyran race? It's a Tal colony. Yes, Tal. They look like us Caucasian.
Will the rest of us eventually know more about our history, where we came from, our past lives, things of that nature?
Yes.
Yes,
of course.
Okay. Yeah. Well, many people don't remember, or they don't, they haven't had the opportunity to know these things at this stage of the game. But you see that
you need to make more silence around you and go within, because these answers, they are in you. You just need to find where it is inside, where it is. Reconnect with the memory. You have all the answers. You all the memory of all the lives you've lived, it's in your being. It's recorded in your being, in your soul. So the only thing is to go within and connect with this being and to who you are. Remember who you are, and all the answers.
While you're working on polishing that skill, you can be reading her books. How can people get them?
Good transition.
Definitely.
Very good. They're on Amazon. Some are, I'm in the process of putting the second one on Barnes and Noble. So Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. You can also find them through my website, elenadanaan.org.
We'll include that in the description so people can find it easily. When Paul takes it into post-production, he will, and I will add what I can in the description when I upload it. So let's see. Do you have any other questions, Paul? I didn't notice how long we've been going here, but I'm full.
Yeah, we're about an hour and a half, about that. This has been enlightening. It's been enjoyable. It's been informative.
And
I
fun.
Just cannot.
Yes.
And fun.
Yes.
I mean, I cannot say enough about this program. I want everybody in the world to see it. Everybody in the world.
Yeah, share, people. You're watching this, share it. Share this.
Please. And I could ask more questions, but I think we probably would be good.
We do a second one.
If you would, I would love to.
Let's do that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Let's do it. We'll have fun again, and we'll bring you more. So this will be part one in this series of at least two. So anyway, I love you for your work and what you've done. And thank you so much for coming on to our show and being a part and helping to pass this information on. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will see you again.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, listeners. I hope you enjoyed this one. I don't see how you couldn't. Thank you.